Welcome back to episode 44 of Let's Write. So today we are continuing with world building. And the idea for today's prompt wasn't something that I had initially thought about, and that is the architecture within your story. So one of you sent me a message about asking me about architecture, and I hadn't thought about it up until that point. So today's prompt is write about the architecture in your world and write for 15 minutes. So they made a very good point talking about how it's something that can frequently be taken for granted, and also the fact that in many ways it can help you better visualize the setting of your story by talking about the architecture. That also helps you kind of get a feel for the culture of your society. So we are going to write for 15 minutes. And as always, this is a time for you to get situated and comfortable to write. And if you need more time to do so, you can pause the video. So let's write. Welcome back. So this ended up being a lot harder than I expected, probably because I hadn't thought about it yet. But um, 15 minutes is not enough time specifically for me because I have a lot of different areas in my story. I specifically talked about Ishvara's architecture for this prompt. So here we go. Ishvara's architecture contains the use of slate, granite, diorite, and wood. It was built using materials that were easily found nearby. Now, the temple's an exception to that and contains uses of marble, gold, and silver, as well as the wood used for the inside and for the furniture of the temple is different than the oak and cedar that's used for the majority of the town. It was brought from the coastal tropic area of the world with one of the earth elementalists. And the wood uses mahogany, and it's found all throughout the temple. Its deep, rich, dark color is accented by the brightness of the marble and the silver and gold used in the temple. Now, most of the homes in Ishvara are multi-level, typically 2 or 3 stories, and they all contain an arched roof made out of slate. They learned early that wooden roofs or like thatched roofs caught on fire very easily. So there is wood used in the main framing of the homes, but it's mostly just made out of diorite. Diorite is a very sturdy rock, and it doesn't degrade very easily. The wood is mostly for like doors and window frames. Now, many of the smaller kind of towns and villages nearby are made of straw and wood with small amounts of stone. Because the closer you get to the town, the more stone you find, and the further away from the town you go, following the road, going to other towns and villages, there's less stone and more wood. And so that's why wood is used more in these smaller areas. But they all kind of contain the arched roofs. And that is mostly due to the fact that they use attics to store drying foods. And so having the arches enables you to have stuff at different levels for drying. So that is all I ended up having time for. So I think this was a very interesting idea. Again, unless it was like maybe a specific building, I've never really delved that much into architecture on a large scale. But I think that it definitely can play a role in understanding the society and their culture just by the architecture. So that is it for today. Tomorrow we will be doing world building yet again. So look forward to that. And as always, thank you for your comments and questions and critiques. I really appreciate it. And hey, they sometimes turn into writing prompts especially when it's something I haven't thought of before. So again, thank you. I really do appreciate it. As always, feel free to send me stuff. I definitely read it and I definitely appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.